This is like take 6 on an introduction. I think I might just run with it. I don't know. But this is a deck profile that was used to win, I think, a 12-man local at Alternate Universes in Bluebell County in PA. Some really, really good players out there. I ended up going 3-0, all of which were very, very close games, but we ended up pulling out ahead with this deck each game. 2-1 each game. Each set. So, shout outs to all the players that I played against. All of them, again, very, very good. Lots of really good competition out there. And yeah, so this ended up taking it over 2 yellow decks and a hard rushing blue deck. So what's really interesting to me is I went into this deck thinking that it was going to be like, I need to delay to late game. This is only a deck that's good in the late game. And being able to actually compete against 3 decks that were all pretty much just bum rushing really opened my eyes to how strong purple is right now. So to start things off, you have your eggs. Most deck lists tend to run actually 4 of the Pagumons instead of 4 Demi Merimons, which is really odd to me. Mostly because of the fact that being able to just cycle through your deck always seemed like a better option. I mean, this is a Digimon deck for the most part. I'll get into that a bit later. But yeah, I mean, Pagumon being able to pretty much just trash the top 2 cards of your deck. Yeah, this is pretty good if you... Wow, the lighting is just so bad. So bad. Welfare lighting. I don't know what else to say. I got 1 light in my room, so that's what we're going to have to deal with. Yeah, I don't even have a table, as you can tell. This is actually just my bed. So we're just going to have to run with it. But the Demi Merimons, man, these guys really popped off because they were allowing me to just discard cards in my hand that I just really didn't need. They allow you to cycle through Devis, especially throwing them into the discard. Just an amazing card all around. I mean, I can understand why Pagumon here is used in most decks, but yeah, for this time we kind of stayed away from using them. But overall, not too bad. We go into the options here. So first off, we ran 2 Deathclaws. Deathclaw coming in clutch whenever you would pretty much use Night Raid, which is I'll be bringing that one up. Actually, you know what? Let's go through all the options. Let's bring them all out. Let's bring out all the ones that mattered because there were 2 that did not matter. I'll explain those a bit later too. Wow, I don't think I'm going to be able to get these all in focus, but for the time being, Deathclaw. We ran 2 Deathclaw, 2 Jack Raids, 2 Night Raids, and I'm just smothering the cards everywhere. 2 Trump Swords, 3 Night Raids, and 1 Heat Viper. The Heat Viper, believe it or not, came in clutch so much against yellow that I might be considering running a second one because of the fact that it just kills Lucamon and whatever blocker that's out there with the Lucamon. So really, really nice card for that. Jack Raid, people have been debating about this one for a while, but again, combined with Lilithmon, which is probably the key element here in this deck here, can pretty much give you a crap ton of memory to the point where it's like, why would you not want to run it? But yeah, Jack Raid, amazing to hit in security. Just if you have them in the early game, guess what? You discard them and you bring them back later. One of the really, really neat things about this deck is bringing back option cards. Trump Sword. Nothing really to say there about Trump Sword. People really call me mean names for using Trump Sword. It's pretty much Gaia Force, just for purple. Nobody really likes Gaia Force. I don't really even like Gaia Force. But then we got the real MVPs here. Night Raids. If you're not running these, you're pretty much griefing. My opinion, at least. Especially with the Goblin deck that you pretty much got going here with your Devis. Just overall, insanely strong card. Lets you bring back level 3 Digimon and go to town with them. Man, This is so scuffed. I have no idea how I'm supposed to like organize any of this. God bless Max and his ability to actually create content for this game, because I am lost when it comes to the content creation part. But pretty good options. I like running options, especially with this deck. Now these two cards here, I mean, like, I went in, you know, slapped them on the table. I'm like, yeah, these cards are going to be sick for today. And sure enough, I don't think I found a single use for them the entire game. Back for Revenge being that you were able to pretty much bring something back after you delete it. Really good with the promo Digimons, but 2 memories, a bit too much. I'll say that much. One at a time, you just can't really fit it in. And yeah, I don't really recommend running these at all. I mean, sure enough, didn't matter too much. I was able to just get rid of them and then move to better cards in the deck. But yeah, highly recommend you never run those in your entire life. So those are going right out of the deck, probably replaced with something else a little bit later. 2 mats, pretty self-explanatory, letting you get Trump Swords back, get those Devis back, get anything back that you really need. Plus, being able to be put to 3 memory allows for some pretty good plays with Lilithmon. Getting Lilithmon out in the same turn, and then being able to Jack Raid for free, being able to utilize Night Raid for free, being able to Deathclaw for +1. It's really good. Really good. We were a big fan of that. 4 of these little goblins. Basically, mom's credit card pulling through really nice with this one. Being able to afford 4 of these is quite troubling right now, I'll say the least. But if you are able to afford 4 of them, it's pretty damn good. Pretty good. Basically, these little guys are meant to die, and then when they die, they bring back the raid boss himself, Digimon, who is arguably one of the most frustrating cards to play against in the entire game. A really sweet little mini game. Basically, once they evolve into something and then die, you can pretty much just sacrifice them and bring back Digimon. Very nice card. Just definitely making purple decks a little bit more expensive. Speaking of expensive, I ended up not being able to run the tournament pack promo, so I had to go for the welfare option as well. So I have these little 2-cost goblins. Call them rookies goblins because that's essentially what they are. All the little Devimons. And Candle, one Candle one, because I mean, just like, look at him. Look at this guy. Which one even is he? Is he both? He's got 2 faces? Does he have 2 brains? Who knows? Really strong. You can just hard play them, especially when you're at 1 memory. Just put the other guy to 1. That's what this deck's really good at. If they're not able to get a tamer out, being put to 1 memory against this deck is super lame because of the fact that the 4 costs are, for the most part, one to evolve. And we'll get into that a bit later as well. But yeah, rookies, really nice. I'm a big fan of the goblins. Sure enough, we get into Labramont, which was my favorite new addition to the new set regarding rookies. I mean, just an amazing drop-down card. Just absolutely clutch. Every single time Old Yeller here is put down, he basically allows you to just trigger draw 1, and then you discard 1, which is really amazing. Anytime it's trigger 1, discard 1, it's just a huge W. You just get to cycle through and make sure that, because the thing about Digimon is you don't really have that, like, the deck support, you know. You can draw cards, but you're not able to just like discard and then play from discard in any other deck except purple. It's really amazing for the most part. So Labramon, aka Old Yeller, definitely the MVP of today for the most part. And then we got the Gimp himself, the blocking Devimon, which is also an insane addition into purple. Basically just a huge block to play against, because even if you're put to 1 memory, you can play this guy and then pretty much just play something like the Let me pull my options back. Man, this video is something else. God, I hope nobody sees it. JK, people will definitely see it. Something like the Death Claw. So, for instance, if you do get into the later game and you're getting put to 1, being able to evolve into this and then immediately Death Clawing, something really, really strong. It lets you put them to 1 while at the same time bringing back that Digimon that we all want to see on the field. So, sure enough, these guys came in quite handy, especially considering that if you're blocking and you're dying, that's also a good thing. This deck likes to die. This deck really, really likes to die. All right, these are 2 one-offs, basically because of the fact that I forgot they were in the deck. Definitely forgot they were here. Ended up working, but Wizardmon, believe it or not, came in clutch, allowing me to pretty much draw 1 card whenever he died. Ended up getting me a few cards that I really needed. And then Meramon, which is the same thing pretty much as the blocking Devimon, except he's a little bit easier to drop down. So might look to replace this one. He didn't really come in handy aside from just being another card that allows me to evolve for 1, especially at a level 3. So not too bad, not too bad. And then the most hated card I think in all of Digimon at the moment, aside, well, creature card that is, man, what else can be said about these guys? The Boogie Touch is just way too strong for the most part. Every single time this thing kills a Chaosmon or an Omnimon, you know, like a baby cries. There's nothing else to really say. Insane retaliation. If this thing's on your nursery, I mean, they just can't even attack because they're just gonna get wiped by this thing. You know, just a little 4K slamming his head against them and breaking their jaw. It's just, the Boogie Touch is too strong. Sure enough, one of the most underrated cards I think that really should be used a bit more. I mean, these are level 5s, level 5 drops. Like, being able to drop a level 5 for 5, especially in the early game even. Dude, I was able to get Lilith Mons out on turn 2 for only 8. Like, right as soon as the game begins. Listen, if they're putting you to 3 or something like that, which I had a game where I was put to 3 turn 1, I was able to just hard drop this off upon evolving with a bad hand, and was able to get a Lilithmon out, was able to abuse memory for a bit, and sure enough, won the game off of it. Just really, really strong, like absurdly strong to just like hard drop. So again, might be looking to play more of these in the future, maybe even over I mean, I don't really run a lot of level 5s to begin with, so chances are those Back for Revenges might be getting turned into more level 5s. We'll see. But I didn't feel like I had a problem drawing level 5s today, so other than that, we got Mr. Chimeramon, aka the level 5 killer. This guy, just hard dropping him is just insane, absolutely insane to hard drop him and just take out a level 5, especially against yellow. So yellow was like the biggest like way of going about using this card. Like yellow just had so many issues against this card because as soon as I saw any form of level 5, I knew I had to get rid of it. And yellow takes a little bit of time to build up. They do take a little bit of time to build up. So if you're able to just knock down those walls, knock them down, and just keep them down, Chimeramon does its job at taking down those higher costing lines before they digiburst and whatnot. So a card that I didn't see a lot of today, though, they were always in my security, but whenever they did come out, whenever the Lady Devis did come out, it was really, really clutch. Basically allows you to just draw 3 cards upon digi-evolving and then trashing 2, which is amazing. And then combine that with their inheritable, allowing you to pretty much just delete all the little goblins off the field is pretty great. Didn't get to use that combo too much today because of the fact that they were always security, but just another really good level 5. Purple has a lot of them. The Queen herself, Lilith, arguably my favorite card. Nah, the guy above him. The guy above him is my favorite card, but man, did these two just go off today. Only ran 2. And sure enough, the game 3 of the finals was these two just kind of like bouncing off each other. was thinking of making an inappropriate joke, but held back. Shout out to Restraint. Basically, what they do is they bring back option cards, aka, especially later in the game, Jack Raid, Night Raid, Heat Viper, any kind of low costing, any form of low costing option card is just insane with these cards because of the fact that you're pretty much gaining memory for using options. And man, did they just do work. You would think like, oh yeah, I'm getting rid of my Jack Raids early because of the fact that I have to discard them is like bad, but like you're just able to bring them back. Lilith's able to just bring them back and then use them for free and then gaining even more memory. If you're getting 4 memory off of using Jack Raid, like, and that's literally what was happening. It's just crazy, absolutely nuts to see. And then sure enough, we have one Piedmon. This is an interesting one. So I ran this today and was used to win. It was used to win 1 game because I was basically able to just get retaliation and blockers out, especially against yellow. Sure, you don't really want to put somebody so far up nowadays in the meta, but he does allow you to just kind of evolve into Millenniumon if you really need it. He's just basically another 6 to kind of like turn the tide, especially if you just need a few other cards to come out and be annoying. Plus the art's sick. Honestly, this card's really in the deck because I like the art. Yeah, nothing else to really say about that other than that might just be a personal card. Unlike the Lilithmons. A good friend Jose told me about Lilithmon. Jose just really loves that card so much, so I had to kind of run it. Shout out to Jose. I miss him dearly. It's been a while since I talked to him. But then we got the man himself, the new King of Purple. I'm a big fan of the alt art. But basically, this guy comes out, and if you get 2 of these out, every time they swing for 1 security, they're losing 2 security. If they end up killing it, or you end up killing it, they trash cards. Just one of the most disruptive cards in the entire game to play against. I feel that a lot of people in the future are just going to really, really hate playing against this, especially with the new Omnimons coming out in set 5. Yeah, there's not really much to be said about Devimon aside from the fact that he pretty much allowed me to win the games like tenfold by just being so easy to bring out later in the game. I mean, combining this with the promo card, which that's not the promo card. God, holding the phone is so hard. Hopefully my battery doesn't die. I think my battery's about to die. That wouldn't be too good. But combined with this promo, especially when you get him out, it's free licks. It's very much free licks. Later in the game, you pretty much become an unstoppable monster because you're just throwing these things out of your trash like they're nothing. Pretty much the landlord coming to collect his pay over and over again. Yeah, and then it gets to the point where your opponent, if they don't have good draw support, they're going to have to discard some cards that they really do need. And last but not least, we run 1 Millenniumon. Reason why 1 over 2. Chances are you don't really want to be evolving too much into this. The only times you do are when you're against an Omnimon or maybe another Millenniumon that you want to pretty much just remove and send to the bottom of the deck just to get him out of your face. He's more or less a get off me card. Especially considering you normally don't want to evolve him past because of the fact that you don't get the inheritable. But yeah, this was my deck. Ended up going 3-0. Well, 3-0. All games were pretty close, but again, the players I played were pretty amazing for the most part. And actually not for the most part. I think all 3 players I played against today were amazing players with really, really good decks. I wish I could post the schedule, but fortunately, I didn't think I was going to win. Well, yeah, no, I really did not think I was going to win, especially with the players that were coming. Thank you to Alternate Universes for holding the events. It's awesome to go there every single week. The staff's amazing. The venue's awesome. More people coming out every single week. So I'd love to get the tourney to go to like 20 or 25, maybe even 30 people by the end of next month. That'd be sick. I mean, the game is just awesome. Everything about this game is awesome. There's so many mind games, and whatnot to be done with the game. And that's coming from a Pokemon player, a former Pokemon player. I still like the game, but yeah, this is my first real deck profile, so don't be too harsh on me. JK, play me as much as you want. Especially for the lighting, like, look at this, like, you can't see anything. Couldn't even tell me what that card is. But yeah, thanks for watching, and you don't have to subscribe or anything because God forbid I make another one of these.